Hey, good morning. My name is Crystal and welcome to our channel. I am going to be working in the garden today. So I thought I would do a quick garden tour, show you what I am transplanting. It is the week before Memorial Day weekend and it has been beautiful weather. It has been cool enough that I have been easily able to harden off the seedlings outside. And this morning I took out all of the trays except for one that were left in the basement and brought them outside to start to harden them off. One of the things that has been really cool is this greenhouse here. It's one of these shelf greenhouses. It has worked out really good for hardening off the seedlings. Let me show you. So here's the mini greenhouse, and all I've done is moved the entire trays into here. I just let them sit in here during the day, and then at night I roll this down and close it. It's also a great spot for me to store some of my stuff until I get a cabinet out here. The plants are doing really well and I'm very impressed with it, and considering the cost of this greenhouse that we got in January, it was, I think, just under $30. It's worked out really good. I have it bungeed to the fence behind it so that it doesn't blow over, and I have some rocks underneath it to keep it even so that if I put water in the trays, all the water doesn't go off to one side. The plants have been doing really good in here. And then what I do during the day, I just move them out into the sun, and some of the ones that have been out here a while I leave out all night, like these ones, and they did just fine last night. This is much easier than what I did last year. Last year when I went to harden off seedlings, it was a week-and-a-half process. I was keeping them in old Amazon boxes and I would just move them out every single day, put them outside for a couple hours, bring them in, put them outside for a few hours the next day, bring them in, and it was a lot of work. And I knew with all the seedlings I was growing this year, I grew twice as many plants indoors that I did last year. I knew hardening them off was going to be, it wasn't something I was really looking forward to. That greenhouse, I kind of want another one. I did and possibly do want a full-size greenhouse at some point. The problem is I can't decide where I would want to put it and what I want it to look like. So until then, that little shelf unit has worked out really well. All right, let's do a quick garden tour. Here's the chicken coop and the chickens. They are doing really good. They went up on the ladder last night all by themselves and got inside before the door closed. It's really cool to watch them learn, you know, the routine. Those are the avocado vines that I planted last week. They are doing really good, and this bigger one over here is in desperate need of some new trellising, so I really have to come up with an idea there. Here is where I started some green beans. I have the pole beans in the back and the bushing ones in the front, and they are just starting to pop up. I did them 3 inches apart. I'm probably gonna thin them to 6 inches apart, but try and save the seedlings that popped up because they're not popping up everywhere yet. I only sowed 1 seed per hole. If they all don't pop up, I might be able to just move some of these down the row, and I will succession plant the bushing ones every 3 weeks probably. This tomato plant here, it's an Abe Lincoln. I planted it all the way down to the bottom. It was getting really leggy, but I didn't fill the container yet. I'm gonna wait as the plant gets bigger. I'm gonna add more soil until the soil has met the top of here, and that should give it a really good base. And then I have some pepper plants. This is a Sunbright. This one is not so happy. It wasn't very happy when I put it in there either, and it's not looking very good. Might need some more water. We'll try that, but it's one of those Lesya, L-E-S-Y-A peppers from Baker Creek. This is where I'm gonna be putting our spicy pepper bed. I like it in this back corner so I can tell the kids, no, we don't touch any of the peppers that are back here. All the spicy peppers I'm going to pack right in here. It's a 3 feet by 7 foot bed. These are our onions. They are doing fantastic. So good. In fact, a couple days ago I had to trim them because some of them were starting to fall over. I'm super impressed with how well this has worked out this year. Really good. Oh, and this galvanized container is carrots. I was a little late with the carrots this year. We were distracted by the chicken coop. So all I did was I started some Danvers half long and some purple. We'll see how those do. The garlic is looking lovely. We have a music variety and a chestnut red. Those are doing really well. I have a crimson sprinter, some strawberries that I grew from seed, rosemary, thyme, the apple trees and blueberry plants. These are the blue Adirondack potatoes in fabric pots. I've been hilling them up as each one needs it. Over here I sowed the melons last week. Crimson Sweet, August Ambrosia, Kajari, Cantaloupe, and Sugar Baby. And I also I love container gardening. It's just one of my favorite things. So a couple Sugar Baby seeds in that container there. I'm probably not going to leave it there, but I just put it there for now. I planted another Crimson Sprinter, and then over here I have the ground cherries. I found another one in the basement this morning, so I'll be adding that to the group. I have pineapple from Fruition Seeds, and I have Aunt Molly's. These are some eggplant plants, and in the back are winter squash. This bed is going to be summer squash. I sowed these seeds last week as well. I have just 4 summer, 2 Ford Hook, 2 scallop, 2 Cocozelle, 2 Black Beauty, and 2 gray zucchini. The Cocozelle zucchini last year was one of my favorites. It was great for stuffing and baking. And then this is going to be our sweet pepper bed. I already have a California Wonder in the back there, doing lovely. This is our green stock. I really need to get the wheels for it. The seeds I sowed on the back are not doing as well as the ones in the front because it just doesn't get enough sun. I definitely would like to get another green stock. I think they're actually really pretty in the garden, and I love container gardening. I've started so many like tiny tomatoes, and I think it would be really neat to try to grow these things in containers. This is one of our new beds. It's 2 foot by 8 foot, and I have 6 tomato plants in there with an 8-foot handy panel for trellising. I have an Abe Lincoln, an Ace 55, Dr. Weish's, Cherokee Purple, and Sunrise Bumblebee. Back here is our peas, looking beautiful. And these are green onions left over from last year. They survived the winter very nicely. And then I have a couple tomato plants already in here, but I'm going to be adding some more today. In the corners of each of these beds, I've transplanted some mini marigolds that the kids and I started. I found that the marigolds and with the tomatoes are a really good pest deterrent. Worked out good last year. And these are some of the tomato plants from the basement. This bed will be for sweet potatoes. Have the slips in the window started from potatoes that we grew last year. Some more plants from our basement, some not looking great. And we have cucumbers started. I have a Marketmore variety there. Those have not sprouted. Boston pickling, a Chicago pickling. In that back corner over there is a national pickling. We love fresh pickles in the summertime, the refrigerator pickles. And that's a Space Master. I start 3 seeds per hole, and then for some reason I did 3 seeds in that hole and they grew just fine. 3 seeds in that hole, nothing. So I might be able to move one of those over. These were the leftover onions from when I transplanted the onions and ran out of room. So my plan is for these onions, add them to the fronts of beds that will still get a lot of sun and see how they do. They're doing really well in this container. They are not as big as the ones that I transplanted a while back, but they're still doing really good, but they're ready to be transplanted. A couple days ago, I started some herbs, and that's it. Got lavender growing from winter sowing. I have it transplanted in there, and I also have it in the flower garden over here. And the strawberries are doing great, so happy little garden. Oh, it's nice watching it come together. Alrighty, so the plan today is to transplant some of the peppers that have been hardening off in the mini greenhouse out into their beds. And some of the tomatoes that have already been out here, I'm going to try and figure out where those are going to go. We'll get started. You know, it's only 71 degrees today, and I usually try as we approach summer and get into summertime to do my gardening early in the morning before it gets too hot out. I don't know, it got hot pretty quickly today, and it only got up to like 71, but for some reason in the sun it feels so much hotter. Plus I'm wearing dark clothes, which doesn't help. I got a lot done today. I transplanted some plants into, well, here, I'll just show you. I transplanted some peppers and a geranium kiss tomato into these pots. And they're gonna do really well in those. I thought I only ended up with one pineapple ground cherry, but I found another one this morning, so I planted that out here. I planted all of the sweet peppers. Hopefully they'll perk up. It's super windy today. We're supposed to be getting a storm, a thunderstorm, bringing in some cooler temperatures, but it's not supposed to get around freezing at nighttime, so we should be good. Those are the ones I did, I think, yesterday. And then I planted 3 more tomatoes in this bed, a Dr. Weish's, a pink oxheart, and a Cherokee purple. Some of the things I have left to do is I plan on filling this bed with Roma tomatoes, and I still need to fill this bed with the hot peppers. I'm going to also be doing poblanos in here. They're not really hot, but I don't have any more room in the other bed, so they're gonna be going in here. Out of all the pepper seeds I started, I only got 1 Tabasco seedling that is struggling to make it. A habanero and one yellow wax. So I still have those in the grow room directly under grow lights, and I'm gonna give them as much time as I can to get them to a size where I think they would do well out here. And those I actually might leave in containers just so I can have them clearly marked as to what they are and I don't have to worry too much. But mostly pepperoncinis and poblanos and jalapenos are going in this bed back here. So during the summer, as long as it's not raining, Steve and I will usually do walks through the garden after dinner time. Maybe once a week I'll bring the camera along. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.